I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out, how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom? Well, text the word freedom to 737 777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 56. And today I want to just share something with you that I think will really help you unlock your freedom journey. As I'm saying this podcast right now, I'm actually in Charlotte, North Carolina, not too far from where I live in South Carolina. But, thought it'd be great to just get a little change of scenery, right? And I think I've talked about this on other episodes, but here's the deal. If you don't see it, you'll never see it, right? You got to see what your life could look like. You gotta have that vision, right? And so, it was awesome being here, just getting a chance to see different things. My nephew, he says he wants to move here because he said he saw a Porsche, a Lambo, a Tesla, and who knows what other things he saw, right? But see, that opened up his dream space, right? Just driving through the neighborhoods, looking at some of the houses, the houses are a little different from, some of the houses that I've seen in the area where I live. And by the way, there's some beautiful houses where I live, right? There's this one place where I live, this area where I live, there's a runway in the middle of the houses. So it's like, imagine houses on both sides, and then there's this big old ginormous runway, and literally planes come off the runway, and then they pull the little jet right into the garage and walk in the house, right? Like when you see something like that, it's hard to unsee it, right? So it just opens up your imagination faculties, if you will, and it puts you in a space where you're like, wait, I can have more because I've seen more. But how can you know that you could have more if you haven't seen more, right? So, I've talked to lots of people who they've never left the state, right? So the only thing they know is the neighborhood they grew up in and the friends that they have, and maybe what they've seen on TV. But imagine going to a different place, a different country, just different scenery, right? And you get to see things in a different light. You get to see people in a different light. You get to see how different people operate, and you get a chance to open up your dream space. So that's what this episode is about today. Is I just want to encourage you to put yourself in positions where you can see more, right? So you can see more than what you're normally used to, right? Don't just settle for what you always see. Like, be intentional about that. Be intentional about going to new places, taking new routes. Like, for instance, even just at home. When you're at home, you probably go the same way to work every single day. What if you took a different route? I know my wife is notorious for finding little back roads. And she's like, what if we went this way, right? And next thing you know, we have a whole nother way to get to a certain destination just because she was willing to take a different route that she didn't know. That's all we're talking about is putting yourself in a position where you can see more, right? Where you can dream more, where you can, because what's happening is you start to align yourself in the opportunity where you can become more, right? But if you don't have something to measure what success could look like, you only know what you see around you. And you think that, well, look, if people around me live this way, this is just what's left for me to live, right? And no, that is not the case, right? I mean, who says you can't live in a gated community? Who says that you can't be one of those people who have a jet and literally just come off the runway into the house from a whole nother state, right? Who says that you can't be debt free? Who says you can't have a really nice house or a nice car? And hey, listen, I know we talk about freedom and things of that nature, and being able to have whatever you want. But hey, there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things as well, right? So there's nothing wrong with being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor from the work and the effort that you put in. And so just being able to see what life could be like, right? Like I know for one time for my birthday, my wife asked me, what did I want to do? And I don't know why. I just said I wanted to go look at some houses, right? Because I just like looking at nice houses, right? I just love it. I've gone to sit in the cars that I want to drive one day, right? I've gone to do that. I've test drove it, right? They didn't know I wasn't getting it at the time. I'm sure they hoped I was, but I've put myself in positions where I could dream more, where I could see more, put myself around people who already had more, right? So that I always tell people that I would like to be the worst in my circle. Why? Because that way, all I have to go is up, right? I mean, I don't want to be the best in my circle because then it's possible, I could be pulled down, right? It's possible that I could pour out so much that I don't always get filled back up, right? But I would love to be in a circle where I'm filled so much with wisdom and knowledge and I'm uncomfortable, right? Because I'm around people who are stretching me, who are like they're using words I never heard before, or their way of life is different than my way of life. I want that. I welcome that. Why? Because that's going to make me better, and that's what I want for you all is things that will make you better. But you have to be intentional about it. You have to put yourself in those positions, and that's kind of what we did this weekend. Is of course, handling some business here as well. But at the same time, uh, you know, go to the best mall, right? Go to the best neighborhoods. Take the scenic route sometimes. Stop and smell the roses. I mean, you know, just be aware of what's around you and look and see where things could go, right? Go to the lofts downtown, wherever you live. Go to the neighborhood that you don't often go to, right? You can start in your neighborhood, but then eventually take it to another city, another state, then another country. And the next thing you know, you have a different view of the world because you've seen things through a different lens. And as you're becoming better, you start to see things in a different way too, as you start to open up your dream space. So listen, go out there, experience life, and have the vision to see things um, before you're ever able to experience it, so that you can pull that reality, that you can pull that experience into your reality. So hope you guys get some value from this. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Code Freedom. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.